First thing, we got the hood open. Show you here where the oil gets filled right here. Oil filter's right there. Behind all this black wrapping I did on the pipes and all to keep the heat out, right back in down in here. You have to move it around, but that's where you get the. That's where you'll find the oil dipstick and the transmission dipstick, and you also fill the transmission through that same dipstick. So that's where that is. Everything in here is normal. It's a new battery. And there's your hydro pump fluid goes in here. You've got to use a General Motors fluid. It's a hydraulic power steering type fluid. And there's a washer and your radiator. That's about it up front. Okay, we come along the side. On the passenger side, there's a door back here you open up. There's a lot of light shine out here. Weird, so I don't know how this is going to work. With inside this door, we do have some two drains. There's a hot water and a cold water pipe drain. You can drain the water that runs right straight down on the ground. You got the ramps here for the levelers. Down under here is the propane off and on. That's where you turn it on. It's got the automatic valve, so this is just storage, and mainly it's just water, and there's some tools here that I'll tell you about in a minute. Here on the passenger side near the rear, you got two 110 volt outlets when the generator is running or when you're plugged in. Here in front of the tire, you've got a valve stem to fill up the airbags in the rear. That's one on each side. Up front on the passenger side, there's another valve stem to fill up the right front airbag. It'll be the same thing on the opposite side. And now on the driver's side, about midway, there's the entryway to the hot water heater. There's nothing to do in here. You never do anything unless you're going to totally drain the tank. For some reason, if it's real cold weather, you pull that white plug there out and let the water drain. That's a normal pop-off valve. Works good, automatic light, everything works fine, so no problem here. Okay, still on the driver's side, right in front of the rear wheels, we got the generator and the batteries, the house batteries. For the home batteries, there's two of them, just plain Walmart batteries, work fine. One's about a little over a year, one's 2 years old. Generators at Generac, the 52G, which is a 5.2 kW. It's got a start panel with reset buttons. If anything pops, there's a 20 amp and a 30 amp button you can push. The start stop switch out here also, so you can start and stop it from outside. There's a 15 amp fuse that sometimes if it doesn't start, change that fuse. It's for the electronics of somewhere in the system. It's an electric fuel pump right here that I put in. I've got a spare brand new one for you if you need it. And there's an oil filter there. You just pull it off. The drain is right in that little pipe there. That brass fitting, you undo it and pull it out and drain the oil. And you fill oil right here with 1.2, I think, maybe 1.5 quarts. It tells you in the book. They use only Mobil 1, the best synthetic 10W30. Okay, we're here right above where that generator is. There's a heat vent from the hot water heater. You have to vent. You cannot have this door locked, this door here latched up when that's on, because it'll burn this door up. So if your hot water heater's on, don't have this generator door hanging up. Right next to it's the entryway to the power cord. Really can't see in here, but maybe a little bit. That power cord either plugs into the outlet box. The outlet box goes straight to the generator only. So you either plug your power cord into that box when the generator is running, or you plug the power cord into your house or an RV park. If you don't have it plugged in, when the generator runs, nothing's going to work. So that's good. That generator will run, but it won't power anything. So that's important. That plugs for your generator or for your shore power. Okay, the driver's side above the rear wheel, that's where you hook your water hose up. That's just straight in water. It doesn't go into the water tank. That's where your storage water. That's water from the city. If you want to have a city water running straight to your faucet, you just hook your hose on there real good and tight so it won't leak. Turn the water on and you're rigged up. Okay, back here behind that is the sewer dump stuff. A whole bunch of it. The long handle is, see if I'm pointing in the right place. The biggest handle is for the black water. That's your commode water. The little handles for your fresh water, that's from your sink and shower. You always dump that one first. You can see there's a clear fitting so you can see when the stuff's coming out. And when it quits, you pull that one and dump the clear water to run it through. Then you got a hose you can hook up here. That's got a valve that switches to flush the tanks. It has shower heads, spray heads inside of each tank. You can spray and spray to clean them out real good. Here's an extension cord. It pulls out a light and it actually reels out so you can see in here if you need to, or out by your tires or whatever. This is simple. The gas cap's right there by near the rear, right by that door where I was just showing you. So it has a lock and key on it. And then the last door back here just has storage for water hose and stuff. So you got plenty of storage. And I got to open this one. That's where you fill up your 80-gallon water tank. Okay, it's just a plain old entryway that you just hang your hose in. You don't want to run it real fast because you want it to be able to vent out. If you run it too hard and fast, you fill the tank up, and the air can't come out of the tank quick enough. It could explode the tank. So you have someone watch your fill gauge inside. You listen. If you're going too fast, it'll start bubbling back out of here before you really have the tank full. So that's just something to keep in mind. It uses a small key, the same different key. There's a little key that's used here and on the gas cap, different than all others. Okay, this blue, the key with the blue case on it does all these bottom lock doors. It's blue. The yellow key that you see, it'll work on the entry door along with another key for the deadbolt. I'll show you that. This outlet over here is a 110 volt outlet. It's not hooked up right now. That's if you put a special extra battery in this compartment right in front of it. That's towards the front of the home. You can add another battery with a power inverter if you want to turn it into a 110 volts out here, but it was never needed, so I just didn't never use that. Something I added I was going to do, and it didn't make any sense. Okay, these plastic vents on the windows, they allow you to open the side windows 2 or 3 inches to let air in without rain and everything coming in, so it's just an added feature to let you crack your windows open. Okay, here on the driver's side door, there's a step up to get in. You can step in if you're really better at it than I am. I could never use it. There is no key for this door, so you just have to lock and unlock from the inside. We never found a key for it. Mirrors are electric, adjust and heated for winter time. CB antenna, and that little sensor is for the inside-outside thermometer, electronic thermometer. Here on the front hood, there's only one key opens both these locks. It has a little Y11 on it. It says it's got a little round circle with Y11. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring it out from others. You really only need to undo this one side, and you can slide that whole front. You can slide it to the left and pull it down and let it hang down. You don't have to undo both locks, just one. It's got the stabilizing jacks, front and rear, both sides. They have a little fitting here that you put a rod in with a drill motor, and you can run them down electronically with your drill motor. Or there's a hand crank I'll show you that can crank them down. We never used them. The frame is strong and doesn't bounce around. Everything under here is new. So anyway, that's what that is. This little device locks your door open. You can unhook it right here. You flip it all the way around and it latches shut into itself. That keeps your door from flapping around on you. This has a house type key for a deadbolt. It's got that little yellow key goes here to open this lock, so that you have 2 locks. Keeps you safe. The micro switch here, that micro switch is for when you close the screen door, these steps will automatically close. These automatically closing steps. You can leave the steps locked down by turning that switch there to off. It's a step switch. When you push it, it'll turn them off. Interior light switch, porch light, outside switch, your battery disconnect. This turns your house batteries on or off. When that red light's on, the battery's on in the house. When you leave, you want to turn that off so you don't run your batteries down. If you don't turn that switch and you start the engine, that light automatically switches on, so it automatically goes to house batteries. Okay, this long wire with the red handle, it's real long, about 4.5, 5 foot long. A little hook on the end of it. That's used to pull down the awning and to do the lock up top. I'll show you that. Okay, to lower the awning, here's that handle, the red handle. I've got it already hanging up here. I've got it hanging on the lock. There's a little cam up there with a hole in it. I can zoom in on it, I don't know if I can. You hang on that and you pull down, that unlocks the awning so it can unroll. It's a ratchet. So you have to unlock that. When you close it back up, you have to push back up and lock it again to lock it on the up position, unlock on the down. Okay, that same handle, I moved it over here in the middle of the awning. There's a rope that's hooked onto a little tab. We've got the rope long so it doesn't wrap up inside of it. But you grab hold of that and you walk out away from the motorhome and you pull real hard and it'll bring it off of this rest. That's an added feature. Support, that rest rotates and it'll let it come off and you just pull it on down until it's all the way down. When you put it back up, you have to give it a good hard shove to let it get a fast running start to hit that piece right there and pop it over like that. Okay, this rod here is a center support that goes to the center of the awning once it's out. Since that's such a big awning, I think it's about 28 foot. It keeps it from sagging. Anyway, that rotates out from the bottom down here and hooks in the middle of the awning, in the middle of the very middle of it. Yeah, it's spring loaded, so you just push up to get it out of that little pin it's sitting in right here, and you take it out and plug it in and you push again to tighten up the spring as tight as you can tighten it. This on the awning arm again, that claw looking piece right here, once you roll the awning all the way out, this spring load again, it unhooks off that pin, and you'll see it once you do it, it rotates up. It hangs on a place you can't see now, but up here there's a thing it hooks into to give the A-frame support. But there's a video on that ZipD that shows all that. Same things on both sides. These little pins, where is it? I'm having a hard time seeing. Little round pin here. You have to pull out to let some of these things, the springs to work, to let it ratchet into position. And this little tool is to remove the those chrome wheel covers. It's needed, so if you don't want to lose that, you won't be able to get your tires off. It does a couple of things of the fake looking nuts on there, so that's what that is. Okay, this tool is the one to use by hand to crank down those jacks. It's just a little ratchet type swivel thing. You just put in a hole and you start cranking. This one here is the one that has the same tip. You can hook it into that jack. Way out here you can hook your high-powered battery drill or even electric drill, and you run them down in the easy way, up and down. They both do the same thing. One's harder to use, the other one's the easy way. Hey, this is a door to the back side of the refrigerator. It's still on the passenger side. It's a brand new refrigerator. It's I've sent off the warranty card, so I think it was like a 2-year warranty, 3-year warranty, something like that. So they're supposed to last 10 years without having any trouble. My other one lasted 14 years, so it's Dometic. It's the best made. And it cost me over $3,000 to get it put in. They had to remove that window to get the old one out. They're bigger than the door, believe it or not. Anyway, that's the refrigerator. Nothing you do here at all. So, I don't know if I was recording that or not, but that's the switch that does allows the step to come down. Okay, you can see the step come out. This automatic switch did that. It came out because I had this battery connected and the red light's on. If that wasn't on, the step would not come out. Just don't stand too close or it could hit your leg when it comes out. And when you start the engine, if you forgot to put the step up, if you had it locked off with that switch, the engine's supposed to bring that step in by itself automatically. It has before, so I hope it still does it.